Hi everyone, I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. My name's Sophie and we're going to be doing some yoga today. So if you've never done yoga before, yoga is a really fun way of exploring who you are, exploring your body, your breath, your mind, and also the world around us. It can make you calm when you're feeling overexcited, and it can also help you feel energized and really energetic when you're feeling a little bit tired and a little bit sluggish. So make sure that you have got plenty of space around you. So safety first. Make sure you've got plenty of space. Make sure you can move around, swing your arms, and that you're not going to knock anything over or you're not going to hit anybody else if you're doing yoga with people around you today. Make sure you're also not wearing socks. So you might, if you've got a slippy floor and you're wearing socks, you don't want to be sliding all over the place. So you want to be able to grip the floor really well with your hands and your feet. Don't worry if you haven't got a mat like I have. Just make sure you've got a nice space. If you're on carpet, then great. And yoga should feel really good in our bodies. Sometimes a little bit challenging. We're using our muscles and we might be doing things that we've never done before, but yoga shouldn't hurt. So if it does hurt, then just come out of whatever it is that you're doing, maybe change your position slightly, see if you can find a way that it doesn't hurt anymore. And if you've got a parent with you, just ask them for a little bit of help and they might be able to help you out. Okay, and lastly, have fun, because yoga is fun. So the first thing that we are going to do is start seated. And you can sit on a cushion if you've got one, but you don't have to. We sit with crisscross legs. If this hurts your legs, you can literally sit in anywhere that you want. You can bring your feet together, have butterfly legs, nice diamond shape, or you can bring the feet out in front. We just want to make sure that we've got a nice long spine. So we sit up really tall. And we soften our shoulders. Maybe we have a little wiggle around. If you're feeling quite excited, maybe you need to let a little bit of energy out first. And then we'll bring our hands onto our knees or in our lap. And sometimes you might see pictures of people doing yoga and they have their thumb and their forefinger touching, and then the backs of the hands are on the knees. And this is just a shape that we make with our hands, and it's called a mudra. And this helps us to be really calm and focused. And the first thing that we need to do before we move on to lots of yoga poses and moving the body, we need to focus on our breath. So we need to find our super yogi breath. And we breathe all the time, every day, every minute of the day. But with our super yogi breath, we are really concentrating on our breath. So I want you to close your eyes or look to the tip of your nose or down to the floor with a soft gaze. So whatever feels best for you. Sit up tall. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh out through the mouth. Just let that go. Deep breath in and sigh out. Doesn't that feel good? You can do it again if you want to. Deep breath in and let it out. Nice big sigh. We're going to take another breath in through the nose and see if we can send it down into our stomach. I want you to imagine that you've got a balloon in your tummy. And you can picture whatever shape, size, colour balloon that you've got. I think I've got a yellow one. So whatever kind of balloon that you want in your tummy. And at the moment, our balloon is deflated. So we breathe in through the nose, and I want you to send your breath all the way down into that balloon. And that balloon gets bigger, and you feel your stomach get a little bigger. And then as you breathe back out through the nose or the mouth, if you've got a cold or hay fever, that balloon starts to deflate. So it goes down. We take another breath in through the nose, filling up the balloon with air. It gets bigger and wider. And then we breathe out. And that balloon deflates and gets smaller. So let's see if we can take 3 more. So close the eyes, sit up tall. Maybe you've got thumb and forefinger together. Take a deep breath in through the nose, filling up your balloon. Breathe out as you deflate the balloon. And you might feel your belly button moving back in slightly. Deep breath in. Breathe out as you deflate your balloon. 1 more deep breath in. And a deep, long breath out. So our super yogi breath helps us to find a little bit of calm and focus before we start to move the rest of the body. And I want you to try and keep your super yogi breath with you throughout the whole of our practice today. So the next thing we need to do is warm up, because we can't do lots of expressive movements until we've warmed up all the little parts of our body. So let's stand up, make sure you've got plenty of space, make sure you're not wearing any socks. And this also helps with our balance and our concentration. So we're standing on one leg. See if you can find your balance. You might feel a little wobbly, so you can have your arms out wide. Remember, if you've got a wall nearby, you can hold a wall as well. We'll stand on one leg and we're going to wiggle the toes of the other foot whilst balancing. Make sure you're breathing, so deep breath in, long breath out. Roll through your ankle, so we're moving through the joints and challenging our balance at the same time. The next is our knee. So our knee is a hinge joint, so just like a door. So we move it backwards and forwards, hinging from the knee. You might feel this standing leg getting quite strong now. Remember, you can always tap down if you're getting tired. Next, we have to move up into the hips. So our hip is a ball and socket joint. So imagine that there's a ball in your hip, and this is what allows your leg to move round and round and round. Let's take it in the other direction. Round and round, and you can take it as wide as you want, or you can just take little circles. So we don't need to be really big and expressive right now. Let's place that foot down on the floor, lift your other foot, find your balance, find a spot to focus on, and that can help us to stop falling over. Wiggle the toes, roll your ankle, warming up our joints. What's next? Our knee, and it's a hinge joint, so back and forwards, backwards and forwards. Next is our hip, our ball and socket joint, so we move our leg, just rolling through the hip. Make sure you're breathing. Take it in the other direction. Try not to fall over. Place the foot down on the floor. Next, hips. Give them a little wiggle. Imagine you've got a hula hoop around your waist, and this is helping to warm up our hips, warm up our spines. Let's go the other way. Shoulders, big circles, and you can bend the knees here, so still warming up the legs as we warm up the arms as well. Let's take it in the other direction. So our shoulders are ball and socket joints as well. Next, elbows, also a hinge joint. So you can do some little funky movements there. Neck. Now our necks are really delicate. So rolling gently through the neck. Take it the other way. You don't need to throw the head round. Just be really mindful, really slow with the movements. We don't have to go fast. And then come to stillness. What about our face? So you can make some funny faces here. There is a thing called face yoga. And we just give our face a little wiggle. And then a full body shake. Right, do we feel a little bit warmer? I hope so. The next thing we need to do is a sun salutation. And a sun salutation is another form of warm-up. And it really helps to strengthen and stretch our bodies to get us prepared for lots of other movements, okay? So make sure you've got plenty of space behind you. We're going to stand in our mountain pose. So our mountain pose, we are tall and strong. We reach out through the top of our head, and this is the top of the mountain. We reach out through the arms. Maybe you wiggle your fingers, find a little brightness in your fingers. And then really press down through the whole of the bottoms of your feet. Really strong through the legs, really strong through the body. Maybe you close the eyes or look to the tip of your nose, and you might notice that your body sways a little bit. Mountains don't sway, but our bodies do. And we just notice how the body feels here in this really strong and tall pose. And we have super glued our feet to the floor. So we've got our magic yogi glue that we put to the bottom of our feet. And it's magic because it means that we can move. But when we're stood in our mountain pose, we're not going to go anywhere. We might have a sway from side to side, but our feet are glued to the floor. So we take a couple of breaths here, deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. So make sure you've got space behind you. As you breathe in, reach your arms up and wave to the sun. We're saluting the sun. We can do this in the morning. You can do it any time of day, but we're going to pretend that it's morning now. Maybe it is for you. Big wave to the sun. And then we fold forwards, hinging from our hips, and fold all the way down to a ragdoll. And we have a little sway from side to side. Just allowing the whole body to swing and sway. Plant your hands into the floor and hop back into a plank. If it's too much today, you can always step it back into a plank. Really strong here, pushing the ground away with the hands, making sure that we're not dipping into the floor. One long line through the body. Breathe. Next, we set the knees down, and as you breathe out, lower all the way to the floor, lie on your front. With your breath in, lift your chest. This is our snake pose. So you can hiss like a snake here if you want to. Take a breath in as you push yourself up onto all fours, tuck the toes, and as you breathe out, lift your hips high to the sky, upside down V shape. We're in our downward facing dog. So you can have a little pedal out through the legs here, really pushing through the hands. And we breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Look forward towards your hands. Take a deep breath in, and with your breath out, ribbit. We jump like a frog back to the top of the mat. Hang down low, let your whole body hang heavy, sway from side to side. And then as you breathe in, roll up through the spine, push down through the feet, reach your arms up overhead. Take a big stretch as you wave to the sun. And then bring your hands all the way down by the sides of your body back to your mountain pose. Let's go again. Let's warm up the body. Take a deep breath in as you reach your arms up. Breathe out as you fold forwards. Hang out here for a couple of breaths. Sway from side to side if it feels good. Stretching out the backs of our legs, stretching out our spines and our arms. Plant the hands into the floor. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, step or jump it back to your super strong plank. So you can pretend you're a superhero here, flying through the sky. Maybe you even lift one arm like a superhero. And then the other. You have to do both sides in yoga. Knees come down. Lower your body all the way to the floor. And as you breathe in, look up at the sun and hiss. Snake pose. Push yourself all the way up onto all fours. Tuck the toes. And as you breathe out, downward facing dog. And remember, you can bend the knees here. You can have the heels lifted. You can bark like a dog if you want to. You can even lift one leg and pretend you've got a tail. Give it a wag. Set the foot down, do the other side. Woof, 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 woof. And set the foot down. Look between your hands. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, hop back like a frog to the top of your mat. Ribbit. Hang down low. Sway from side to side. Roll up through your spine. Really, really allow your arms to hang heavy. Just take your time to roll yourself up and then sweep your arms up overhead. Wave to the sun. And then bring the arms all the way down by the sides of the body, back to your mountain pose. So I hope you feel really warm now, really stretched and strengthened. So yoga has lots of benefits. There's lots of poses that we could do. We could spend hours on it, but we haven't got that much time. So we're going to carry on looking at poses that help us feel really strong, but also help us to stretch at the same time. So we're going to do our warrior poses. So make sure you've got space behind you. We're going to step our right leg back and our left leg is in front. Bend the knee and then reach and stretch your arms up overhead, reaching your fingertips up to the sky. And we're really pressing down firmly through both feet. So we're strong in the legs, but we're stretching through the top half of the body. Our chest is facing towards the top of our mat or just directly in front of us if you don't have a mat. And we breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Say, I am strong. I am strong. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back, keeping the legs as they are. Take a deep breath in as you reach and stretch your fists down to the floor. Find a stretch across your chest. And as you breathe out, fold forwards into our humble warrior. So here, I am kind. I am kind. We're folding forward, we're stretching through the arms, but we still need to be really strong through the legs. Still bending into the front knee, still stretching out and lengthening the back leg. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. As you breathe in, lift all the way up, release the hands. We're going to turn to face the side now. So we step our legs a little bit wider. This left leg is still facing forwards and we bend into the knee. We've got a nice wide stance, pressing down through that back foot, so through our right foot. And then I want you to reach your arms really long. Take up all of the space either side of you. So this is our warrior 2. I am fierce. I am fierce. Look towards that front front hand, your left hand. And if you want to, you can imagine that you're pulling on a bow and arrow. So we are warriors. These are all of our warrior poses. So we feel strong. So I am fierce. I am fierce. And we breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release your back hand onto that back leg and stretch your left fingertips up to the ceiling. This is our peaceful warrior. So I am peaceful. I am peaceful. And you can look up at the top hand if that feels okay for your neck. You can look down to the floor or out to the sides. So really feeling through the body. How does this feel for you? We are strong in the legs. We are stretching through the front of the body here. And we breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Take a breath in as you start to rise all the way up. Come back to your warrior 2. Now this is where it starts to get a little challenging. So we are going to be brave and we are going to fly into our warrior 3. So we start to turn to face our front leg. We need to step our right foot over to the right side and lift the heel. Bend the back knee. Look where you're going. Make sure you haven't got anything in front of you. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, leap off your back leg, balance on one leg, find a spot on the floor to focus on. You can reach your arms down by the sides of the body, or you can bring your hands to your heart. And we're really lifting that back leg, really pressing out through the heel. If you feel a little bit wobbly, you can hold onto a wall if you've got one with you. Or if you've got a prop or a block or something sturdy, you can always hold onto a block or something underneath the hands. And we breathe. This is really good for our balance and our concentration, strengthening our legs, but we're stretching out the whole of this right leg. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Set your foot down and hang like a rag doll once again. So we let the whole body hang heavy. And here again, we're stretching out the backs of the legs, stretching out the whole of our back body. And just let your whole body hang. Roll yourself up, slowly, slowly. Allow your arms to hang. And just dangle as you roll all the way up. So now we need to do the other side. So in yoga, we've got 2 sides of our body. So we've got to make sure that we are all even and balanced. Otherwise we'll be a little bit wonky, won't we? So let's do the other side. So I'm going to stand this side just so that I haven't got my back to you. So we need to keep our right foot to the front of the mat. So make sure you've swapped over. It can get a little confusing doing both sides. So step your left foot back. Bend into the front knee. Make sure your knee feels comfortable. Make sure you feel really strong through the legs. Chest is facing forwards. And then we reach our arms up. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Stretching out through the arms. Stretching out through the sides of the body. Really strong through the legs. I am strong. I am strong. So whenever you're feeling like you need a little bit of strength in your mind, in your body, you can come to your warrior poses. And we breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. What comes next? Our humble warrior. So we interlace the hands behind the back. Take a breath in as you reach and stretch your fists down towards the floor. And as you breathe out, fold forwards, looking down to the floor, stretching your arms back behind you, still pressing through both feet, really strong in the legs here. We don't need to go low, we can stay high. If it feels too much in the arms, you can always bring the hands to the front thigh. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Take a breath in as you start to lift all the way up. Turn to the side, take your arms wide, step your feet a little bit wider. Still bending into the front knee, your right knee is bent, your left leg is really long and pressing into the floor, arms are wide, our warrior two. Remember, you can pretend you've got your bow and arrow, looking towards your right middle finger. So we're stretching out through the arms. You might feel stretching through the sides of the body. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Left hand comes down to the left leg. As you reach your right fingertips up to the ceiling, keep bending into that front knee and feel that lovely stretch all the way down the right side of the body. You can look up to your top hand, you can look down to the floor. Choose a position that feels really good for you and breathe. I am peaceful. I am peaceful. For 3, for 2, and for 1, come all the way back through your warrior 2, arms are wide. We need to take it into our warrior 3 now, so we're going to fly forward. So slowly turn to face the front leg. Step your left foot a little bit wider, so make sure that you've got a lot of space to be able to leap forwards. Take a breath in. With your breath out, leap and really strong through this right leg. Push that right leg into the floor. As you lift your left foot off the floor, stretch the leg out behind you. You can reach your arms down by the sides of the body. You can keep your hands in a prayer at your heart, or you can hold on to some furniture if you've got something around you. Really strong here. Soft bend in this standing leg. I am brave. I am brave. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Set your foot down to the floor. Just allow your whole body to hang like a rag doll. I am gentle. I am gentle. Slowly, slowly roll yourself all the way up. Give yourself a really lovely shoulder roll. So we should be feeling really strong through the legs now. So we're going to come down, we're going to work on a little bit of arm strength before we wind it down. So come all the way down. And we've already done our plank position, haven't we? Nice long line, pressing down through the arms. So we're going to come to a plank. And then set your right knee down to the floor. Flip your right foot out to the side. Set the whole of that back foot down on the floor and then reach your left fingertips up to the ceiling. So this is our side plank. So we're balancing on one hand. We've got this knee down for support though. If you want to take it a little further, if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can slide your right leg to meet your left leg. So this is our really strong side plank. We can take it into rainbow pose by reaching our arm all the way up and over, creating this lovely arch shape down the left side of the body. Remember that knee can always come down to the floor. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Come to place the hand and the knees back down on the floor. Maybe give your hips a little wiggle, give your hands a little shake and your wrists a little roll before we take it on the other side. So come to your really strong plank pose. Set your left knee down, flip the toes out to the side. Set the whole of that back foot down on the floor. Reach your right fingertips up to the ceiling. Our side plank. Really strong through that left arm. Slight bend in the elbow, so we don't want to be locking our arms out. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, then pressing through that bottom foot, pressing through your left hand, slide your left leg to meet your right leg, maybe you have one in front of the other. Maybe you stack your feet one on top of the other, really pressing out through the feet. And then maybe you reach your right arm up and over and take it into your rainbow pose. Make sure you can breathe. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Place your right hand down on the floor. Come back to center. We're going to swing the legs round and out in front. Take a big breath in as you reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, fold forwards into our really calming river pose. So we're forward folding from the hips. And this is our really calm, almost watery pose. So we're stretching out through the backs of the legs, through the whole of the back of the body. And we just allow everything to start to rest down and relax. Focus on your breath. Breathe. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Fantastic work, everyone. Slowly come all the way up. Roll all the way down onto your back. Give yourself a very well-deserved hug. And then stretch out through your arms and your legs, through the whole of the body as you come to rest down on the floor. Just let your body feel really heavy here. Imagine that your whole body is like cooked spaghetti, just really floppy. And maybe we close the eyes or look to the tip of the nose. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Another deep breath in. Let it out through the mouth. You can take as many more of these as you want to. And then we just allow the whole body to be quiet and still for as long as we can. To let the body rest. To let the body recover from all that work that we've done, all that hard work. And you can stay here for as long as you like. But if you're ready to move, start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Bring the knees up into the chest. Give yourself another hug. Thanking yourself for your yoga today. And then rolling yourself all the way up. Come back to your seated position that we started in. Find length all the way through your spine. Sit up nice and tall. And we bring our hands together at our heart center. Thanking ourselves, thanking each other. Namaste. And namaste means I'm awesome, you're awesome. Together we are awesome. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.